guys, welcome to day 4 of your spring break challenge given to you by your math teachers to do 5 math problems a day. Today we're going to be starting with number 16 and we're going to go all the way through to number 20. 16 through 20 is solving each equation, so that means that we're going to be solving for v or solving for whatever variable that we are given today. So let's start with our do and undo chart. So if you were watching yesterday, all right, I did an do and undo chart for your variable. You're going to see what's happening first to your variable, and then you're going to undo those operations. So first thing here, just kind of read that as being parentheses v plus 10 because they are both above our fraction bar here. So that is going to be that's going to mean that we're first adding 10 to v, all right, and then dividing by 7. All right, which means to undo we need to go in the opposite order with the opposite operations as our do chart. So we're going to be multiplying by 7 first and then subtracting 10 on both sides. Cool, so let's do it. I like to draw the line down the equals to separate my two sides of the equation. Just makes it easier for me to keep track of things. So let's multiply both sides by 7. We get 21 on this side equals v plus 10, because our times 7 and our divide by 7 are going to cancel out because they equal 1. And then v plus 10 times 1 is just going to be v plus 10. Then we're going to subtract 10 from both sides. Okay. They're going to cancel over here because plus 10 minus 10 equals 0, and v plus 0 is just v. So we're going to have v on this side, and then 21 minus 10 is going to give me 11. So my answer is v equals 11. All right. Highly suggest that you go back and check your answers. All right, when you find your answers, go back and check them. Okay. Number 17. We're actually going to have to simplify first by distributing that 5, which is why we were doing some simplification yesterday. So we're going to simplify first just to get rid of the parentheses so that we can do our do and undo chart and find our answer. So 130 equals 5 times 4x is going to give me 20x. Oops. And then 5 times 2 is going to give me 10. All right. Go ahead and do your do and undo chart off to the side here. Okay, most of you are doing this in your head by now, but I just like to write it out just to visualize it. So what's being done to our variable x here first is that we're multiplying it by 20, and then we're adding 10. So to undo those two operations, we need to subtract 10 first, and then divide by 20. Okay, so subtracting 10 on both sides. All right, on this side it's going to give us 120. Okay, and then on this side, plus 10 minus 10 are going to cancel, and we're left with 20x. Okay, all right, now we are dividing by 20. All right, and these 20s are going to cancel because 20 divided by 20 is equal to 1, and 1 times x just equals x. And we've got 120 divided by 20 over here, and that's going to give me 6. All right, again, I highly suggest that you go back and check your answers. We just don't have time to do that in this video. All right, so x equals 6. All right, number 18. All right, same thing. There's actually 2 steps of simplification I've got to do here. I've got to distribute that 5, and then I've also got to combine any like terms that I'm going to have afterwards. So let's go ahead and do that. Negative 100 is equal to 5 times 8 is going to give me 40. Minus 25a minus 3a. All right, so I need to combine my minus 25a and my minus 3a here. I get negative 100 equals 40 minus 28a. Okay, may need a calculator for this just because we're going to have some pretty big numbers. Okay, all right, do and undo chart. Ran out of room for my undo there, so I'm just going to leave it as un. All right. First thing that's happening to a is I'm multiplying it by negative 28. Second thing that's happening is I'm adding it to 40. all right, because this is a positive 40, so it's like I'm adding it there. So to undo, I need to subtract 40 from both sides and then divide by negative 28. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Here's my equals, draw my line, subtract 40. Whoop. Okay, all right, negative 100 minus 40 is just going to put me deeper into the negatives at negative 140. These two 40s are going to cancel out, and I'm going to be left with negative 28a. And let's divide by negative 28. All right. These 28s are going to cancel over here, so I'm just left with a equals on that side. And then 140 divided by negative 28 is going to give me a positive 5. All right, because negative divided by negative gives me a positive. All right, any questions? Again, just send them to your teacher, and your teacher can send them on to me. All right, number 19. All right, we've got to simplify on this side, and then we have an x on both sides of our equals, so we're going to have to take care of that once we get it simplified here. So let's simplify. Negative 2 times 6x is going to give me negative 12x. Negative 2 times 5 is going to give me negative 10. Equals negative 5x minus 38. All right, so in order to get our x's on the same side of our equal sign here, we're just going to have to move one of them, which means we're going to have to undo one of them. And I'm going to choose to undo this negative 12x here, because I know to undo that I'm going to have to add 12x, and that's going to give me a positive coefficient for my x value, and I just like positive numbers, so that's how I'm going to do it. Okay, so I got negative 10 left on that side, and this is going to give me 7x minus 38. Okay, now I'm ready for my do and undo chart. Okay, I am multiplying by 7 and then subtracting 38. So I need to undo, add 38 and divide by 7. Okay, so adding 38 to both sides here, we are going to get a positive 28 over here equals, these two 38s are going to cancel, a 7x. Okay, and I'm going to divide by 7 on both sides, and I'm going to get x equals 4. Okay. All right, last question for the day, number 20. We are going to be doing some simplifying, and we're going to have to get our ends on the same side. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. 6 times negative 7 is going to give me a negative 42, and then 6 times negative 6 is going to give me a negative 36n, which equals 32 plus n. To get our ends on the same side, I'm just going to add this 36n, whoops, not m, just because it's going to keep me positive. All right, so I get negative 42 is equal to 32. Now we're going to have plus 37n. All right, do and undo. Okay, we are... first, we are multiplying by 37, because n is right here. All right, and then we're adding 32. So we're going to need to subtract 32, and then divide by 37 to get our answer. So let's go ahead and do that. Subtract 32 from both sides. Negative 42 minus 32 is going to put me deeper into the negatives. Okay, and this one's going to cancel, which is going to give me 37n. And when I divide by 37 on both sides, negative 74 divided by 37 is going to give me a negative 2. And this right here is just going to leave me with n. Okay, so n equals negative 2 for your answer there. And again, guys, I'd highly suggest that you go back and check your answers We just don't have time to do that in this video, but it's as simple as picking up your calculator and plugging the value that you got back in for your variable. Alright, have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.